Hello, everybody. It's your boy Blizzard Geek coming at you north of 49. Welcome back to Neo Scavenger, where last time we left off, we had a really good start with a lot of really good items and things. So, what we have is a great starting setup. We should, by all rights, find some water. So, we're going to sleep because we are tired. So, we can sleep in the cryo facility. We should, by all rights, bring a sleeping bag. We don't need a tarp. We have pretty good shelter. We have great sleep, but little alertness. Now, we could make campfire to raise the alertness, but I feel pretty safe. So I'm going to sleep. We're going to be well rested. Now, we're going to take the we're going to take that with us. Our meat, just in case we get hungry on the way up. Yeah, pretty great. I'm just gonna strike out in this direction. Oh no. Oh no 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 no. Take cover. We are going to attempt to retreat, and we are going to run away from him because actually I'm gonna play this risky. Take cover. Advance undercover. Oh, he's charging at us, which is kind of dumb. What? He must not have any bullets in his gun. Does he have? Yeah, he had no bullets in his gun. Come on. What's this? Ooh, I've never seen that before. Why? Oh, he probably had the wrong bullets to the gun. Hmm. I'm ditching that backpack. I know this that might bite me in the butt later on, but I'm not going to risk that. No, I don't want that. Let's find out where the hell we are. Once cheap and ubiquitous at roadside stops, these pocket road maps have become something of an archaeological tool for modern scavengers. You carefully unfold the giant leaf and try to make sense of where you are. Gotta locate Detroit. Okay. That's literally all those are useful for. Okay, so that glow is coming from Detroit. That wasn't probably the smartest thing I could have done. because unboiled water will make you sick faster. I have never had a use in this game for smartphones. Oh, we're starting to sweat, which is not good. Um, Screw that. We found water, which is really useful. Just fill up every bottle we have. Do we have more? Nope. So we're just gonna guzzle down all this water. Probably not the smartest thing, but seemed to be safe enough. So I wonder what I have on me that is causing me to be overburdened. How? Drop the ashes. Okay. Empty that out. So yeah, we're literally burdened for the meat, which isn't great. We have some meat. Just use it for the sake of using it. Uh, yeah, I don't want to be burdened one bit. Whoops. No, you don't. You come back here. Can't carry that on our back and that on our back at the same time. Screw the ketchup. Can I put the bullets in the gun? No. How much are the bullets? Oh, those are expensive. Yeah. No, no, no. Yeah, resource inventory management sucks sometimes. Alright, now we're gonna make a sprint for it. And by sprint for it, I mean we are going to go... Yeah, we're gonna go pretty much straight left until we just can't anymore. So let's go. Oh, hey, Melonhead. Weird alien thing. On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again. Scavenging all these ruins with my friends. Just can't wait to get on the road again. On the road again. Got this shack in the woods again. Is it better than these other binoculars? No, so I'm gonna get on the road again. Sprinting through the woods. Going to Detroit. Probably have all my stuff stolen. Can't have shit in Detroit again. And now we're parched. Your water goes down a lot more than your thirst does. Let's see. Yeah, there's all different places you can like get to in this game. I ran into an enchanted forest, which I think was like somewhere over here, but I've never really like messed around too much in this game. Usually I have not this good luck. I just start this game up and it's awful and terrible and I get shot. So now that we are here, we can put together a little shelter. Which is really good. I'm glad that we found like everything we needed for a shelter very quickly. So we are going to sleep and pray to God that nothing happens. And because we wake up, we just make sure that nothing happens to us. Return that to that. Is you can break your shelter down, which is very useful. And now we're going to just can't even rest and heal. I wonder if that's because we don't have anything. Yeah, we don't have anything to rest and heal with. Or to need to rest with. Oh, no, 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 no. We are going to make a retreat. Desperate retreat. Yeah, we do not want to tussle with dogmen. Oh no. Yeah, we don't want to run into dogmen. We got, like, the beginning encounter is scripted so that you don't... you end up killing it immediately. But in the game terms, those things are just, like, terrifying. No. I don't want any of those things. I will go down here and get some water. You can find water testers in this, and you can find, like, water purification tablets, because if you're not careful, you can give yourself the poos, and that'll, like, be really terrible for your character. Day. check. Did I just find a perfect pair of boots? So I'm wearing a left boot. I need that right boot. Battery sparker. Don't eat random berries you find. It's really stupid. I really should be stopping and boiling all of this water in that can of mine. But I'm not, and that's kind of stupid of me. Because once you boil your water, it's safe, and you can actually, like, use medic to, clean dirty rags so that, like, because if I had put a dirty rag on my wound that I got from the dog man at the beginning of the game, I could have easily like just got infected and died. As you step into a clearing, you finally see the source of that eastern glow. It's a city larger than any you've ever seen. Skyscrapers and their bigger brothers are called colleges stand shoulder to shoulder, casting their glittering lights into the sky. However, lights flit around these super towers like fireflies. Hovering lights flit around these super towers like fireflies. A massive wall encircles their base, with iron buttresses like glowing points on a crown, and radiating out from the wall a shanty town of crumbling buildings, shacks, and tarpaulin twos. Relief at the sight of civilization almost overtakes you until you realize you still have to make it there. That and scavenging provinces to get a lot harder near the city, as nearby ruins will have been picked over already. So we are closing in on the city. But where there are people, there is danger. You hear them before you see them. People, lots of them. Pushing branches aside, you're presented with the city you saw from afar. A hybrid between shantytown, refugee camp, and RV park skirts the massive walls to the city. Everywhere you look, people navigate the winding, muddy roads, carrying supplies, patching holes in shelter, or arguing over property. Smoke from 1,000 camp stoves and barrel flies trail upward, and the scent of cooked food elicits a gurgling from your stomach. Nary an eye pays any attention to you, just one of the dozen of ragtag corpses shuffling from the wasteland. Beggars, customers, hopeful prey. Welcome to DMC Sprawl. As you step around a muddy tarp shanty at the edge of the sprawl, you stumble across old fifth wheel with an old fifth wheel with smoke streaming from a stovepipe. People lined up outside, taking turns ordering at a window. You're standing outside the Last Chance Canteen. Originally named for its location on the outskirts of the sprawl, locals of Tin joke that the Last Chance Canteen is in fact a warning to prospective patrons. Known for serving whatever is available, as well as a few suspect staple dishes, the Last Chance is a venue for those hungry and not too fussy about their food's origins. Still, the old fifth wheel draws lines enough to keep its grills hot, so nobody must have died from their food. Yet. I guess we're gonna use the last chance. I don't really want the last chance. I know there's a junk market right around here. The junk market. As you navigate the winding alleys of DMC Sprawl, you encounter a huge structure fashioned of shipping containers. Throngs of people enter and exit the structure through the doorway on the side. Inside, you can see a thriving bazaar where people trade scavenged items in the light of thousand lanterns and bug zappers. The air is thick with sweat, smoke, and the smell of barbecue and spices. This is the Sprawl's notorious junk market. Pick up items to purchase them or drop them to sell them. So here, I'm gonna sell that and that. Oh, my meat went bad. Might as well sell it. Get a new one. Buy a new boot. What else is good? Oh my goodness. A pill organizer. I'm exhausted. But at least now that I've got that gun off my back. Okay. Inventory management. Because I hate having messy inventory. Water lined up. Things nice and neat. Okay. Okay. All right. Buy one piece of meat. Just in case I would be a little bit of meat. That's good. Detroit megacity gates. Navigating the twisty maze of shacks and tarp shelters, Detroit's massive walls stand as a constant backdrop to the east. Easily half a dozen stories high and probably almost as thick, the city walls are an impressive sight to behold. Armed towers, bristling with surveillance arrays, stand at regular intervals, keeping watch over the sprawl and likely the city within. Before you, giant vid screens on the three gatehouses flash instructions about pass requirements and threat levels as flocks of people stream into and out of the gates. You take your chance in line on the right with others entering the city. When you reach the front of the line, a sinking feeling overcomes you. Heavily armed guards in full combat armor are checking attendees with some sort of scanning device. You're pretty sure that whatever these other folks have to get in, you're missing it. When it's your turn, the guard stops you and turns to a monitor installed in the wall. The message reads, "Device not detected, entrance denied." With the efficiency and compassion of an assembly line worker, he directs you away from the line back outside. Unfortunately, getting entrance to the city may be trickier than just showing up. Look at this Willy Wonka ass dude. Back outside, you cross the muddy square and stop to survey the area. Where do you go now? Would anyone in the sprawl know about the cryo facility? You're startled when you notice a man has been watching you. He's wearing a long brown coat and a matching hat that is leaning on a walking stick. From the distance, you can almost see a glint of his eyes below the trilby's brim. That was probably just your imagination. He takes his time approaching you, and as he nears, you notice there's heavy Malik? I don't even know what that word is. McQuillage in his face. It reminds you of one of those old portraits you've seen in a history textbook. Folks call me Hatter, he says matter of factly. I think we may be able to help each other. Come with me. Hatter's office is in the husk of one of those flop house hotels you've seen crammed between high rises in busy cities. It even has the old marquee hanging precariously from the cornerstones. Several floors up, armed guards watch over the street from missing sections of the building. Hatter acknowledges the men at the door and leads you through a surprisingly clean lobby to an old-fashioned elevator. I have a client, he starts, pausing for the cage to rattle shut, who collects heirlooms. He speaks louder over the motor. He compensates well enough in fact that I'd be willing to part with a DMC visitor pass in exchange. The elevator clunks to a halt, and the door rattles open, revealing a dark room lit by video screens and old lamps. Stepping off the elevator, it feels like you've walked into a control center built into an antique store. Baubles and relics crowd the walls and tabletops, while video screens and computer consoles cast a bluish tint on a handful of armed guards. Hatter crosses the room to sit at a low, broad desk facing the elevator. There's a lake. He pulls out a worn road atlas from a desk drawer, about a day's walk northwest of here. Inside a building, there's a silver urn. He pages through the atlas to a map of Michigan. My guess is that you know a thing or two about getting around out there. Maybe this could be your ticket into the DMC. He pauses and looks up at you. Interested? Something's fishy here. Something doesn't add up. You're no seasoned mercenary, but you're sure any fixer worth his salt is going to be careful with whom he contracts for work. And a visitor pass can't be cheap, so there's no way this is just a cakewalk test. Plus, Hatter approached you. Nobody walks into a town out of nowhere and gets that kind of welcome. Something doesn't wash here, and it's making you edgy. I don't like this, you say, stopping short of sounding threatening. Sounds like someone's trying to set me up. That gets Hatter's attention. You hear the creak of leather as guards tenses. He says, leaning back in his creaky chair. Turns out maybe you are worth the extra attention you seem to have garnered. He looks down at a blank spot on his desk, considering something a moment, and starts talking at it. Your, let's call him employer, has a particular interest in you. He leans forward and starts interacting with the security console, interested enough to open this earn contract with express instructions that it only be assigned to you. Said I'd find you trying to enter the DMC. Said he'd front the cost of the visitor pass if it got you to do it. He finishes a keystroke and gestures to the wall monitors. One of the monitors switches to a view of the room with a cycling time code in the bottom corner. After a few seconds of fast forwarding, it switches to a real-time playback. There, standing where you are now, a black mask about the size of a man talks with Hatter, then detail seems to be glitchy, as if it were some dark-colored static distorting the signal, but only around the figure. What's with the censoring, you ask? Dunno, he says. Looked normal in person. Must be some sort of EM interference. The discussion is short, punctuated by the figure handing Hatter a small object and leaving. As a rule, I don't disclose client info like this. He stopped the video, but you seem like a decent type. More to the point, you're resourceful. And while money talks, I'll take a competent operative over cash any day. He reaches into a drawer and pulls out a small black wristband. The pass is yours. I'll keep my ear to the ground for any info on this Reaper fellow. I'll let you know. And hey, he says before letting go of it, maybe you come around or again when you're looking for some work. This is why I love trapping. It gets you the coat. It gets you so much. It lets you make fires. Like, I can't imagine playing a game without it. So therefore we get in. And now we're in, which is awesome. So we have a few places we can go to. Let's go to the Red Gnome. The Red Gnome is an exception in an already exceptional city. Situated on a busy corner in Gates 11 Neon Alley, a single-story streamlined diner defies the densely packed high-rise and elevated roads around it. In fact, several adjoining buildings seem to grow over the diner, using the precious space above its roof. Seems also almost untouchable in an otherwise claustrophobic warren of glittering skyscrapers and patchwork overpasses. We're gonna get a number 2. I think it's the cheapest thing we can get. Yep. That's great. Pay the bill. Yeah, you don't want to dine and dash. You can if you have no money. Let's go to the savings bank. Detroit Savings Bank turns out to be a surprisingly tricky business to find. It has a presence for certain. Self-service terminals are near ubiquitous, winking at passersby from countertops, ads walls, and alcoves. But there's little more to these terminals than signage and a screen. There doesn't even appear to be a place to dispense cash, nor insert a card. After a bit of walking, though, you eventually find a Detroit Savings Bank microbranch with more than a screen. A secure, climate controlled booth, slightly larger than a covered bus stop, sits on the sidewalk here. It has the requisite self service terminal on the exterior, but looking through the transparent walls, appears to be an actual human teller. Yeah, I don't want to threaten people. Pull the transparent door open and step through. Inside, you're greeted with the bright colored lights and dry, tepid air. I don't like that word, honestly. Why do they need to do that? You begin to explain your situation, starting with the cryo facility, your amnesia, and the clues you followed to reach this point. Feigns interest. I'm sorry, Mr. Kindred, but you hold account with us. I think so. Show her the bracelet. Oh, she says, I'm afraid we can only service clients who presently hold an account or citizens opening new accounts. You're still welcome to use your payment network at any participating vendor. Your mobile device can both send and receive payments. Haggerty Health Clinic. Haggerty Health Clinic is a pretty busy spot. Its proximity to Gate 11 and its mercenary attitude towards clientele assures it as a steady stream of business from both inside the DMC and Sprawl. The Double H, as it's often called, offers a wide spectrum of health services. Those include diagnostics, cleaning, dressing of wounds, therapeutics. There's also an on site augmentation clinic. Okay. Inside the lobby is a lot like any other clinic. Banks are there are banks of attached seats covered most of the floor, and counters receiving, dispensing pharmaceuticals. Led away for consultation. Preliminary testing. Artificial eye replacement. Oh, yeah, we need a lot of money. We need like double the money. Okay. Yeah, we don't need those pills. Okay. Probably don't need those either. Can I put a saucepan in here? Yeah. Yeah. What even is around here? Down here, squeezed between the DMC's southern walls and the great swamp's proverbial hard place, you finally find a place boasting vacancy, St. James Parkade. Like a pre apocalypse parking garage, except in the case, repurposed to birth humans. Someone had the bright idea to leave all the cars in the parking garage, hook them up to an unlicensed power tap, and charge occupancy by the night. Patron could rent an open pickup if they're down on their luck and own a sleeping bag. They could rent a hatchback if they have a little extra to spend on heat and shelter and door locks. They have the taste for a finer living, splurge on a full-size van with its own chem toilet. It's no real Ritz Carlton. It also is sleeping. It's also not sleeping exposed to anyone who wanders by, and that's what counts. Screw it. Let's get that. You find your assigned stall, and there's an emerald colored hatchback covered in dust. The seat's been removed, rear bed offers just enough room to stretch out. There's no amenities, no blankets, TV, running water. However, the old electric engine's been wired to the grid, so you have ample climate control and light combined with door locks and windows that beats most beds you've made in the wild. Wow, it's quite nice. Wow, that's really nice. All right, well, I'm going to take a few steps out and just see what's going on. Oh, You just keep your nose clean, you got no trouble. Oh, thank God. And with that, I'm going to wrap it up for this episode. I hope everyone out there in the world has a great day. And I'll see you back here next time with more Neo Scavenger.